guys, it's CurvyLexie and I'm back at you today with a new video. So there's a lot of topic I had in mind at the moment, and I will definitely discuss them with you little by little, but what I really wanted to discuss about today is actually shopping. So it's still a sensitive topic. I know the plus size community is actually doing so much better over the past years, and that thanks to a lot of influence, and now nowadays like fashion is a bit more open to bigger women, but still it is a lot of struggle for many women. And I think that what I wanted to discuss today is actually how to shop as a plus size person, or not to say shopping as a fat person. So what I wanted to explain basically is the fact that I actually chose my words on a certain purpose. And if I decided to talk about how to shop as a fat person and not a plus size person only, is actually because plus size is one word, but it's the acceptable word for the society, and especially when it's regard fashion, you know. We use the word plus size until a certain extent, but for girls like size maybe 16, 18, 20, 22, we still manage into the plus size, and then we tend to forget also all the ladies that are beyond that size, and that also, like us, do struggle actually to find their clothes. And we are all considered, to me, I do think that all of us are considered as fat people actually, and I think that it's really sad that nowadays the society is so stuck in some certain type of word that we're losing to feel better, that we actually forget what it is just to be fat. And there is nothing to be ashamed of. I'm actually consider myself as fat, and I'm pretty fine with that, because this is actually a way not to lie to myself. Yeah, I'm big from here. I have fat in my arms, that's a fact. I have fats in my legs also. I have fats in my butt and all the things that belongs to my body. And if someone says I'm fat, then that's a fact. I'm not going to take it wrong. It doesn't mean that it's a lovely word, but why would the words used for like thinner people are more pleasant than the ones that are used for us? I don't really get that. But what is for sure is that when it's about shopping, it is always a problem, because obviously fat people are not that accepted in society. We accept plus size people a bit better, like the lovely word to use, plus size, curvy, and all the nice one that everybody wants to hear. But do we really accept people for being fat when they go to shop every day? That's a big question. So I love shopping. I'm like every woman. That's sad sometimes to think that you have to not to think like the other women, because actually the fashion range is not automatically made for you. But though I do have a lot of I used to say self-respect, but actually I would say that I know what suits my body. There's a lot of things I still don't wear. You probably would not see me with a mini skirt, like super short shorts and stuff like this. But despite this, I actually like admire so much the women that do it. And it's not because I still don't feel comfortable doing it that I don't think that all the women that do it are actually so great. But still, whether you're living, because I'm guessing lots of you are not automatically coming from big cities, it is so difficult to find a plus size shop. And I can notice, like, obviously, I guess the one that follows me knows that I'm living in London, and in a certain way London is kind of a plus size heaven, so I won't complain about that. I've been having access to so many more plus size clothing that I could in the past, but still pretty limited overall. But for the people that come from a smaller city, where I come from, for example, in the south of France, it is so difficult, and sometimes I'm wondering how would I have lived on the long term without losing weight, obviously, if I stayed a plus size person still living where I come from. Because you go to shops and nothing suits you, and that's so frustrating, because it makes you look like you have no shape, and like you're disformed, and it's not nice. It's not a nice feeling. I haven't been, well, each time I'm going to my hometown, I'm going to Nice, where I come from, and I try to do shopping, and I'm always living without anything. And I think it's really sad, because I have to wait to be back in London to be able to find something that suits me. And I'm 1820s, which is like a 46, 48 European. So I'm always that bigger size of the normal shops, and medium, smaller sizes of the plus size one. So in the logic, you'd like to think that actually I could find in all those, like, no, I'm gonna use normal because anyway that's what people say anyway, but those regular brands like H&M, Zara, etc. But at the end, very little I find something. There's always one or two brands where I can find my stuff, but I'm always struggling. And I decided, like most of you, I think, to go online, and that's great. That's open to way more people, but still, you know how reducing it is, I think, for a person. If it's a choice to go and buy online, like for example, I don't like automatically to do shopping. There are many times I actually don't want to go to the crowd of London. London is a massive city. We have 9 million inhabitants. When you go to central London on a Saturday, it feels like people are walking like sardines just next to each other, and that you have to push people to manage to reach a shop. Now, I don't really like this. So when it's about choice, I'm actually really happy that I can go online. But on the other side, there's one truth. It is that anyway, going to do shopping in a normal shop will make no sense because most of the time I can't buy much. We have like some amazing shopping centers here in London called Westfield, where you have like more or less 300 shops. That's massive. It's perfect. It's probably a haven for all the regular size girls, let's say between size 8 to size 14, maximum 16. It can work more or less good for them, but if you go my size, I already lost 90% of the shops. Not to say 95, to be honest, because out of the 300s, most time when I'm going, I'm just going to Evans, which is like done for plus size brands, and that's it. I think like something like Debenhams also, that has a lot of brands and maybe can go to a few size 20, but apart from that, I'm really struggling. And yeah, that's today this video is maybe not to give a shout out to all those high street fashion, but guys, clearly make efforts. Honestly, it's really tiring to always have to go to your shops online to manage to find something. Honestly, it's just like one day I went to this shop, which is called Dorothy Perkins. Don't know if you have that in your country, but anyway, I was very happy that they made a plus size range. So I bought from their website, and I actually ordered 2 or 3 tops, and out of the 3, one was not fitting, so I tried to send it back, and I actually went to the shop to exchange it, and then the sales lady just looked at me and say, "Oh no, I'm sorry, we can't exchange in store." And I said, "Why?" And she just answered me, "Oh, basically because we don't do plus size in shops." I found that so, I don't know, I can't even find words at times. It's just like, basically, girl, you're too big to exchange your own clothes in our store. So just send it online, just send it back to the website where nobody sees it. But yeah, basically, there's not enough demand for us to display our clothes there in the shop. And I was like, wow, okay. But basically, there's a lot of women that are plus size, and we are in London, which is like, as I say, almost 10 million inhabitant city, and still there is no place for big people to hang their clothes next to the other ones. I was really upset, because normally I'm not really the type of girl to feel like fat every day, like meaning when I'm next to other people, I'm not spending my time wondering if I'm bigger than the others or not. But when someone is showing you that basically you are too big to be able to take your clothes in a normal shop, then yeah, I just felt really offended, to be honest. And if you girls like me are always looking for shopping, well, I'm guessing that most of you are going online, and that's sad. There's a lot of websites now, thank God, that we can go to, that opens, to be honest, the barriers, and that also helps crossing countries, because let's be honest, America is still the place to look and find for your clothes. I took a trip to New York back in September, I don't know if you remember, and that's where I find quite a few clothes for me, but actually the satisfaction I had in America that I never had here anywhere in Europe is actually the fact that you can almost go to any shop and find your size. There's way less discrimination against big people in America, and that's a fact. It's not about the fact that, yes, Americans are bigger, etc., but that's also stereotypes, because believe me, I went to New York and I haven't seen many fat people, so if you could, it depends, I guess, probably of the regions and the parts, but still, there's a lot of places where you won't find a lot of big people. So, but still, there is access to more sizes, and it was really satisfying not to be always forced to go to a plus size range or to a place only for my people just to be able to find clothes. So the shammers and the ones that always have something to say will probably, well, if you don't want to have that feeling anymore, just lose weight. That's true. Yeah, that's true. Why not? After all, you know, we could have worked for something like this. Let's lose weight, at least, no problem. You will just fit into the normal shops. Yeah, could have worked, but at the same time, why? Why does it have to be me adapting to fashion and not fashion adapting to us? That's a big question. So I can go to all the events, Yours Clothing, obviously one of my favorites, Torrid and Target for Americans, a lot of other type of clothing that you can find everywhere, but why would I have to be the one adapting automatically? Why does not society adapt to us? Or why does it have to make us feel all the time that we have to shop different ways to make it right? If you have to shop, who do you shop with also? Do you shop with your normal friends? Do you have to shop with your plus size friends? How does it work? Or just shopping behind your computer screen and just like, oh yeah, I like this, oh yes, I like that, and then sending back non-stop because nothing is really fitting. Actually, I made some efforts actually this week. I went to Primark, which is not too far from my house, and Primark is going up to size 20, so it's pretty great. But out of maybe 6 or 7 pieces I bought, actually I just fit into one. Yeah. And they're all size 20, funny enough, and I'm an 18-20, so that's just proving how much things are not just even made for us, because basically most of the normal shops are just thinking that by adding 3 centimeters on the hips, maybe here, and a bit on the arms, you will fit plus size girl. Like we just have a basic body that you can just extend by 2 or 3 centimeters here and there until we find us. It would be nice that the fashion kind of study us a bit better. I actually have a lot of respect for plus size brand that did take the time to study big women, to check that not all big women are made the same way, that some have hips and some are big on the butts, and some are just like having more belly but less legs. I have lots of hips, maybe less belly, but I have hips and an ass. And for me, it makes it very difficult to find the trousers at my size. Or at least not in regular shops. So this is very complicated. I think that at some point I really hope that the high street brands at least will make effort to understand all women, all type of women. It shouldn't be more easy to consider that you could do a size 4 easier than a size 24. It's not normal to have to think that if you want to take a size 24, then you have to pay £20 extra. And it's not normal neither to think that all women look the same just because they have to fit into a number when it's about clothing. And that's what I'm aiming at today. So ladies, how it is to shop as a fat person, unfortunately there is no miracle. Until the society will decide to move, and until us women decide to make more efforts to force those companies to adapt to us also, unfortunately shopping for us will just be reduced to 5 or 6 shops and spending our time online looking for clothing and sending them back if they don't fit. And I hope that you'll read actually, and we will check this video, and that you'll start fighting the way that I am by Instagram, by Facebook, by YouTube, by all the type of platforms that you can find nowadays, just to be sure that our voice is heard and that at some point shops will make more efforts, okay? So this is all for today. Thank you so much again for listening to me. I wish you a wonderful evening or day, depending where you are. But this is all for today. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, go back to my Instagram CurvyLexie28 and show some love, and give me your opinion also. What do you think? Do you think that though it has changed, it's better? Do you think that it's still very poor in terms of finding shops? Just let me know, give me your opinion. I'll be happy to share with you. So this is all for today. I send you all my love wherever you are in the world. Goodbye, au revoir, and à bientôt. Bye!